Okay, so we're going to be exploring question 10 of the Module 4 Lesson 5 textbook assignment. And let's get started here. Explain why the equation sine of theta is equal to 0 that has no solution in the interval pi to 2 pi. Let's get started with this. So the question is suggesting that sine of theta has no solution in the interval pi 2 pi, and we have to explain why. So let's look at this. So like a sine of the angle is 0 when the angle lands on the x-axis of the unit circle. And let's go here. So 0 is over here and we are on the x-axis here, right? So let's just write that down. The sine of an angle is 0 when the angle is on the x-axis of the unit circle. And using this, we can make our general formula, which is going to be theta is equal to n pi, and n is an element of real integers. So this is going to be our general formula here, and because it's so broad, we're going to have a bunch of solutions. So solutions could be like, we could have pi, we could have 2 pi, we could have 3 pi, and so on and so forth. So in this interval over here, we have open brackets, and open brackets mean that the interval starts just after the number here and ends just before the number here. So in this interval, the interval is going to start just after pi, and it's just going to end just before 2 pi. So, and it doesn't include pi or 2 pi in the interval because it's an open interval. So let's write that down. In this interval, the interval starts just after pi and ends just before 2 pi. And it does not include pi or 2 pi at all, because the parentheses that were included means it's an open interval. And let's go ahead and look at this real. So we have sine of pi is equal to 0, and sine of 2 pi is also equal to 0. So now what we're going to do is we're going to find some points in the interval, and we're going to test sine of the interval, and we're going to see if they equal 0 or not. So let's just choose 3 intervals here. I want to choose sine of 3 pi over 2, sine of 5 pi over 4, and sine of 7 pi over 6. And how we can verify these is we can just simply convert this to degrees. Pi is always equal to 180, and so it's asking in the interval 180, 360, right? 3 times 180 divided by 2 is going to give us 270 degrees, which is in the interval. 5 times 180 divided by 4 is going to give us 225 degrees. This is just a quick way of verifying. So And 7 times 180 divided by 6 is going to give us 210. So they are all in the interval. And I'm just going to quickly calculate sine of all three of these, and I'll give you guys the answer. So we have sine of 3 pi over 2, and here it says -1, and -1 unfortunately is not equal to 0. Let's go to the second one here. And this is not close to 0. Well, it's not quite 0. -0.7. So -0.7. This is not equal to 0 either. And finally 7 pi over 6. This is equal to 0.5, which is not equal to 0 either. Now that we proved that, we can write no solution exists in no solution of sine theta equals 0 exists in our interval of pi and 2 pi, because sine theta equals 0 only at pi and 2 pi, and like we said before, these are not included the interval. And this is going to conclude our lesson here.